What's up, guys? It's D Werewolf Gaming here, back with another Remnant 2 build. Alright, today, guys, I want to showcase a build that's still pretty powerful on Apocalypse difficulty. It's a build that, there's no glitches or bugs or anything to get high levels of damage or anything. It's just a build that's been around since the beginning. Alright, now some of the pieces that you need to make this build work. You do need some special rings and gear pieces in all to make this a pretty good build. But overall, I feel like the new DLC that came out, the Awakened King, was pretty challenging. These enemies did hit pretty hard. And so with this build, you still can like chew through these enemies pretty quickly. Alright, so I'm going to let you look at some of the gameplay of it. And then we will go over the build breakdown of what items that I was used to make this build possible. And some of the things that I could have changed out to make it a little bit better. Alright, hope you enjoy the gameplay. And we will go over the build in a little bit. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the gameplay. I just wanted to showcase this build, taking on one of the new bosses in the DLC, the Awakened King. All right, that witch can be kind of challenging. She do try to corner you a lot, and when she hits, she does do a good bit of damage. So overall, this build helps you be able to maneuver in and out of there without taking so many hits and not getting too much damage done to you. All right, for my archetypes, guys, I was using the Hunter archetype. Primarily because of the prime perk, dealing 55% increased base range, weak spot damage, and shooting these enemies, you can extend the duration of that hunter skill when you kill enemies up by 3.5 seconds. All right, overall great class for damage, and I like the perk of being able to see where the enemies are, highlighting them. That way, it makes it a lot easier for you to plan with your next move when you're taking on these particular enemies within this game. All right, for your armor, guys, just wear whatever armor you prefer. Now, I was using the Resonating Heart. Use whichever relic you prefer. I did have plus 15% health. I think that was very viable, staying alive on the hardest difficulty. Minus 10 mod cost, that was very important to help keep that Night Reaver specialty up. Now, and I did have 20% critical hit damage mod on that heart as well. All right, for the Night Reaver, guys, Nightfall gun. This gun has been nerfed a lot, but it's still pretty good. The special trait or attribute you want to call it on a dead walker basically is very good in surviving harder content. You enter the nightmare realm, Nightfield game. This gun basically gains infinite ammo, 25% increases fire rate, plus 10% life steal, and the weapon also becomes fully automatic. So overall great at surviving. Now I was using the twisting rounds as well, mainly to apply that bleed to these enemies. I think that's very vital when you're playing the harder content. Now I could have got more damage using the momentum, but guys, if you're not hitting those critical hit shots on those heads, you're not gonna always keep that going. And I feel like even when I do get those critical hit shots and I apply that bleed, I get a constant bleed on these bosses when I'm fighting these bosses. Overall, I love applying that bleed, getting some sort of status effect on the enemies. Now I was using the Enigma, as you can see, guys. The Enigma was pretty good at crowd controlling. It's still a great gun to use on the harder difficulty. And I was using the time wave mod, so I can slow them down and even slow that boss down a lot. She's very quick and she does hit pretty hard. For my rings, I was using the probability cord for that 30% critical hit damage. Burden of the Destroyer as well. Now you do lose a little bit of ideal range by 25%, but it increases all damage dealt by 15%. Alright, was the Stone and Balance. You get an increase in all damage by 7%, and the Anointment Foil Ring, you get this in the new DLC. But what it does is you get 1.1 bleed damage applied per second to you, but it increases your critical hit chance by 10%. So overall, amazing ring because you're getting that increase in critical hit chance. Alright, and my amulet, guys, was the Night Reaver's Grudge. Overall, amazing amulet to use. Kind of hard to get though. I would advise anybody who wants to attain it to watch those videos on how to attain it. But you gain 20% critical hit chance and you gain haste for anybody suffering from a status effect within 18 meters. Guys, with this ring, you're always going to be suffering from a status effect. So you're going to constantly have that haste and 20% critical hit chance by using these two together. Overall, amazing. Gunslinger archetype was what I was using just to get that overall increased fire rate up to 15%, 25% range damage, and 5% critical hit chance. Guys, you can't use this with any other classes or archetypes as well, but I just like the Gunslinger. These two pair very well to me. All right, so let's take a look at my damage reduction. Now, I can't say that was pretty low. It was only at 53%, but overall, you can move around pretty good with this particular build, so you didn't have to worry about the damage too much. And like you see, I was using the mythic mod to get that reduced mod, so I can get my mod back faster. Skill cooldown and everything else is back. So now my fire rate, as you can see, is up to 22%. Critical hit damage was 80%. With range damage is 65%, plus 22% overall damage. Weak spot damage is 15%. And guys, you see that critical hit chance was at 30%, with 10% critical hit range chance.
Won't stop.
And they're going to look, as you can see, that haste, all my actions otherwhere was increased by 7% because of this particular amulet on this particular build. I would recommend anybody who's playing this particular, who likes high damage, to definitely try to obtain this amulet. It'll help your gameplay a whole lot. All right, and there are other ways to increase. I could have got a lot more critical hit chance and critical hit damage, especially weak spot damage as well, just by changing out and using uh, the critical hit chance mod to get a little bit more critical hit chance, and the weak spot damage mod to get a little bit more weak spot damage. And as you can see, it took my range critical hit chance up to 20%, and it took my weak spot damage up to 30% by changing that out. But overall, I felt like I was doing decent damage on what I had it on already, so I didn't need any more damage to be able to tackle this content. So that's why I was using what I was using before. All right, so let's take a look at the traits I was using, guys. All right, so as you can see, this particular setup, it does automatically come with long shot, so that helps with some of that range that you're losing when you're using the ring destroyer or the barrier burden. You do lose a little bit of range, but you get that right back by using the hunter archetype. As you can see, it increases the range by 600 centimeters. All right, and because I was using the gunslinger, I get max ammo reserve as well. All right, fortify, guys. You need that fortify to help increase your armor effectiveness, to be able to survive. All right, regrowth. You definitely need health. Regrow your health. Another survivability trait. Swiftness. I feel like being able to move, getting out of the way is very important. So I got that up to at least a 5. Triage. This helps with the healing of your mod. Use that relic, guys. This will help you heal quicker. All right. Vigor as well. I got this maxed out to increase your health. All right, so your spirit, this is what's going to help you get your mod back quicker, and your expertise, this is what's going to help you get your skills back quicker. I got a little bit of amplitude, guys, so that way I can increase the AoE. This goes hand in hand when using something like the Enigma. All right, bare skin, you're getting that 10% damage reduction. I got a little bit of fitness also to be able to evade and get out of the way when those bosses come from you. I got a little bit of siphoning so I can get a little bit of health still back when I'm shooting these enemies. All right, guys, overall, I think this is a great build still for survivability and overall tackling anything on Apocalypse. All right, so I was using the new Ritualist Scythe as well. As you can see, I really didn't use it much, but pairing it with this shocker mod that you mutated, that you get, guys, this thing does decent damage as well. Very fun to use. Very fun when you watch those guys get shot. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please remember to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Thanks, The Werewolf out.